Hello and welcome to a brief introduction video to the Ubert TopLine Rotisseries, in particular the computer controls of the CC models. After switching on the rotisserie and a waiting time of about 10 to 20 seconds, you will see this home screen. The home screen is divided into 6 sections. The upper left section is for the cooking programs. The upper right section on the top line has no function because it is reserved for the self-cleaning area, which is only applicable to the convex rotisseries. The middle left section is for programming. The middle right section is for the operator's parameters, where they can be put in or edited. The lower left question mark is to answer whatever question comes up in the particular screen that you are currently watching. And the lower right button or section is for the service area, which can only be used by trained service technicians. Let's start with the programs. By hitting the yellow button with the chef's hat, you enter the program area. There you find several buttons. The upper buttons are for existing programs or for empty spaces that can become programs. The next one is for the manual mode, and you have 3 more buttons at the bottom. The down arrow brings you to the next page, and the up arrow then brings you back to the preceding page. The question mark we already know, because this answers questions to the existing page you are on. And you get out of this by using the back arrow. And the final button here brings you back to the home screen. The nice thing about the work with this computer is that it allows you to work with pre-installed programs every day, every week, every year. So you can put in programs by this button here, but as said earlier, you can also use the manual mode. When we go back to the chef's hat, we find it at the bottom of this screen. To use the manual mode, you push the button manual mode here, and you get the chance to edit time and temperature with the respective arrows. You bring up the time with this one, confirm, and you bring up the temperature with this button here, and confirm. And after that, the whole manual program, so to speak, is activated with the start button here. So let's have a look at the programming area, which is hidden behind this green button here. When you push it, you will be asked for a security code. This is made because not everybody in the team should be able to edit programs. This should be usually done by the manager only. The standard code that comes with the machine is 1965. You confirm it with the start button here. And after that, you see a lot of possible choices you have. Number 1 is writing a new program. Number 2 is changing an existing program. Number 3 is copying an existing program. Number 4 is move an existing program, which means move to another slot in the list of programs. Number 5 is delete a program, which might be the case from time to time. And number 6 is boost. The idea behind the boost button is to give the operator the chance at the end of a cooking cycle to just add a few more minutes to a cooked product that he's not 100% satisfied with. By using this button, he doesn't have to jump to another program with lots of steps in between. He just uses this button and can add a little more time to finish the product. Again, at the bottom of the page, you find the good old question mark and the home button to step out of the programming area again. Writing a new program is very easy. Again, we use the programming area here, enter the code, and then get the chance to write a new program by pushing the first button. Then we have to choose one of the free slots here. And I asked more questions, which is choose something from the library, edit charge, or edit vario. For writing a standard program, we use edit charge. Now we go through all the steps that are required to write a new program. You choose a pictogram and choose one of the existing pictures for your program. We choose again chicken. Then we give the program a name. Let's say again chicken. The next button requires the preheat temperature, which can be, for example, 190 degrees. On the following page, we are in cook step number 1. That means that we can put in several cook steps to make a more or less sophisticated program. Temperature 1, we choose 180 as an example. And time we use is 20 minutes. On the second page, we choose temperature number 2, which is, for example, 190 degrees, and time is 40 minutes. Again, this is just an example. And so we go through all the cook steps, and at the end of the 3 standard cook steps we have, we can extend this to more steps. We are asked for the holding mode. That means that after cooking, the rotisserie can automatically jump into a holding mode at a lower temperature than the cooking time and cooking program was. If we don't want to hold, we leave it like this. If we want to add a holding phase, then we put in a temperature and a time. If this is all okay for us, we confirm by hitting the confirm button. When we now go back to the home screen, push the chef's head, we should find the second chicken program at the second slot, as we do here. So let's have a look at the operator's parameters by hitting the red button here. Like the programming area, this area is protected by a code, which is the same like the one before, and which is written in the operator's manual as well. Once we have put in the code, we confirm, and then we are in. We now have the possibility to enter or change a couple of parameters. The first is that we can change the language the computer is using, which makes life of your operators easier, of course. Ubert can bring in whatever language into this computer as well. Here we can change the code that we are using. With this button, we change date and time. With this button here, we can tell the computer whether a wire-connected core probe is used or not when it's on off. With the fifth button, we can switch between manual mode, this one we explained earlier. We can activate the boost, which we also explained earlier, or we can set this on inactive, then nothing is activated. But we leave it on manual this time. This brand new computer system can operate a wireless core probe that Ubert is also offering. This is a very special feature. We are not going to explain this in this short overview, but it's at least important to know that this feature is existing. So let's jump to the next page. Here we can switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit on the top left button. We can change the number of cook steps. You have seen earlier that we were able to program 3 cook steps in the program we wrote, but you can easily change this to more or less steps. The last button allows you to remind your operators to empty the fat drawer of the rotisserie. This is a very useful feature that helps to avoid overflooding of the fat tray. When you push it, you are prompted to enter a time, for example 6 hours, which means that the computer will remind the operator to empty the tray after 6 hours of operation. Let's go to the final page. The TopLine Rotisseries come with 2 powerful quartz lamps, one in the front and one in the rear. Both are for illumination and for browning of the products. You can with this button tell the machine whether it should use both lamps, turn all off, use the front only or the rear only, or again use front and rear. The following button allows you to manage whether a program should start automatically or not. You can switch this on or off. This button here helps you to change the sound of the alarm of the machine. The other one allows you to change the loudness of the alarm sound. Alarm sound means that whenever a cooking program is over, the machine will give a loud alarm to inform the operator that it is over. The following 2 last buttons are actually very helpful because you can, with this button, store your existing programs via USB slot to a USB stick, or you can take or restore programs from a USB stick here. If everything is as you like it, you go again down to the confirm button. So let's have a quick look at the service area by hitting this button here at the bottom right. You get a couple of choices here, but we only want to look at 2 of them today because everything else would lead us too far. When you go on service, you're again asked for a code. Again, with the code, we want to make sure that nobody is able to do any changes on the machine that is not a trained person. To step out of this again, we go on the back arrow. When you go to equipment information, you get all the information about the latest version of all software that is installed to the computer, which is important information once a service technician is speaking to our service technician. And again, we use the back arrow to go to the main screen, and the home button to go to the home screen.